that put Pete on this side of the scale is that Pete reaches out for help on this side. And what Pete might do in the middle here is in that middle of this impaired thinking and preoccupation, he might even ring him from the bar, but Pete might bring his sponsor and say, sponsor, I'm in trouble. And he talks about the review and starts to share about what's going on, his fears of not being good enough. What if I get fired? And just sharing that, and his sponsor might say, well, it sounds like you're running on your own will. Maybe if you look at step 3, do a bit of reading on that, get down on your knees, say the serenity prayer, and make some outreach calls. And how about I meet you for breakfast tomorrow before the breakfast meeting, because it'd be good to get one in before you go to work. And then maybe I'll bookend the day by doing that meeting in the evening. And Pete goes, thanks very much, I'll do that, stays committed, hands his will over, keeps going. And then he sits down and everyone claps and says, thank you, Pete, for sharing. The difference is simply knowing where to ask for help. And this is where this addictive cycle and system is really important if you're a recovering person, to know what yours looks like. What are your impaired thoughts? What are the tricky thoughts that steer you back into euphorically recalling addiction? What are the people, places and things that you might need to put some boundaries around for a while? They just aren't good for you because they trigger that compulsion and obsession to use. And if you can largely locate these, and especially those early core beliefs, and start to work on them, then all of a sudden we are now living in a recovery cycle and not an addictive cycle. There's a difference between powerless and helpless. What I'm powerless over is the fact that over the years I've been triggered, and this addictive cycle lives in me as a whole set of sort of neural pathways. But I'm not helpless. I'm not helpless about acting out. I can, once I see that powerlessness in action, ask for help. Now what I'm going to do in the next video is talk about the recovery system, and I'll do that on day 5, on how do we flip this thing around. But essentially today's video is that I'm powerless over this. I'm powerless over these neural networks that set this up, but I'm not helpless. But I must get humble and ask for help. So I hope this gives you some things to think about, and please, this is all part of the Movember campaign. If you're struggling out there with addiction, please reach out, personal message me, or reach out to the helplines in your community, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Bye.